our freedoms from us every day. They want to come into our homes and take our guns and faith away. Oh, they're insane. Oh, they keep pushing their lies on us every way. If you come for my family, then there's gonna be hell to pay. These colors don't run, and neither do I. We come from a long line of fighting this fight. This flag's gonna fly when it's all said and done. These colors don't run. No, these colors don't run. These colors don't run.
Ticking time bomb, stop, drop, roll. Finger on the button, who's got control? Weaponize the news every time I scroll. Come for my guns, but I lock and load. Prime from my hands when I go cold. Pray to the Lord, but they want your soul. They gonna have problems if they come to my home. Till they get my message, I'ma say it slow. Scrolling through the news, anxiety, it starts to hit me. Bible by my pistol by my whiskey. Politicking just to trick me. If you want it, come and get me. But if you sliding through that door, it's a Sammy. Fight for the stripes, but the blood's still dripping. To the grave, all waving and the flag still whipping. They want my liberty, they won't strip it. They want my land, they won't get it. My grandfather's blue collar's dirty and frayed, cause he keeps rolling in his grave for what they did to this place.
These colors don't run, and neither do I. We come from a long line of fighting this fight. This flag's gonna fly when it's all said and done. These colors don't run. No, these colors don't run. These colors don't run.
Hey everyone, good to see each and every one of y'all. I hope y'all had a blessed day. Y'all are stuck with me again. And tomorrow night, Monday, Gator Girl should be ready to take her spot back. So Monday and Tuesday should be Gator Girl, as far as I know, unless something changes. But that's what we talked about today. So Monday and Tuesday, Gator Girl should be back. Let me see. Okay. Tracy, good to see you. You was the first one today on YouTube. Good to see you. Love you. Hope you're doing good. Bitbite, good to see you. Love you. Baby brother, good to see you. Love ya. Hope you're being good to them nurses. Darlene, good to see you, chick. Hope you're doing well. Love you. And on Rumble, we got Susan coming in first. Welcome, Susan. Love ya. Jay Keeps, good to see you. Love you. And Bitbite on Rumble, good to see you. Love you. Thank each and every one of y'all for being here. I love y'all, and there isn't anything y'all can do about it. Oh, Christopher, they're giving you nasty food. I feel for you, brother. You know, if they've changed your diet since you're going to have that done, they may have changed your diet. Maybe. I don't know. But I'll be praying that they get you something you can eat, because I know that feeling. Jeff and Terry, good to see y'all. My big brothers. Love y'all. Hope y'all are doing well. Let me see. This is breaking. Some fools went to the White House and thought they was going to shoot at it, and thought there wasn't going to be nothing happen, I guess. I don't know what they think. This world's gone crazy is all I can say. But right here's the latest I have, but I believe BitBot may have a link to the latest, because I was getting everything ready. But this was the last I heard on it. So let's listen to it. Hey, SL20, good to see you. Love you, brother. So here is, I just think enough's enough that these crazies need to be, I say, make mental institutions great again. Deprogram some of these people or something. I don't know what to do with them. Okay, here we go.
And we are also now, joining us now by phone is Chief Congressional Correspondent Chad Pergram. He had been following this breaking news story and has all the details on what happened. We're so grateful, Chad, we have you by phone. Can you break this down for us?
Well, Tommy, this is what always happens when we have something like this. I always start to check in on the security situation at the White House, but this is what happened around 6 o'clock this evening. I'm told that a gunman came up near the White House on the west side, what is described to me as Gate 17. This is kind of near 14th Street on the west side of the White House, and came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. We don't know what type of pistol it was, but he then fired toward the White House 3 times. And the United States Secret Service, they returned fire. We don't know how many shots that they got off. And they apparently took the gunman down. Now, sometime in this gunfire exchange, a civilian on the street was struck by this gunfire, and we do not know the condition of that person right now. But the important thing to know is that the gunman who came up with the pistol and was taken down by the Secret Service, and we don't know his condition right now, but he never got inside the perimeter of the White House. And this is according to a senior administration official with direct knowledge of what went down at the White House this afternoon. This was right around 6 o'clock Eastern time.
That's what I heard.
So, Chad, so if I'm hearing what you said correctly, this was somebody who was just firing in the direction of the White House?
It was something that the Secret Service obviously perceived as a threat. Obviously, we're told that gunfire apparently was directed toward the White House. If you get toward the west side of the White House, and we're trying to figure out precisely where this was, you have the old executive office building now called the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, which is kind of a big complex if you're working from west to east toward the White House. So we know that he was firing in the direction of the White House, and this is the preliminary report from someone who's very senior and would have direct knowledge of this information. Again, a lot of people in town. There was one source that had, questioned me earlier, even before we had this information. There's a lot of motorcyclists in town for the Memorial Day events. They always come for this time, and people thought it might have been, motorcycles backfiring or something like that. There's quite a cacophony of that. But this is clearly someone who came up and was firing at the direction of the White House. And the president, of course, is at the White House today.
Hey, Chad, Kevin here. If I could just get you to break down again, based on what you've heard, this person was taken down. Does that mean they have been neutralized, or do you think they sort of made physical contact with this person? I'm just trying to get some clarity there.
I was told that they were shot because the Secret Service returned fire against this individual.
Gotcha. And have you heard from any cabinet secretaries or any other high-level officials about what's happening?
Yeah, this is all we've gotten right now. You know, it's Memorial Day weekend. People are spread to the four winds, and the reason I, always jump in on this is that, I used to cover local government, and the best stories about the county sheriff's department would come out through the county commissioners and vice versa. So when you cover Congress and something's happening in the administration, a lot of times you check in there. But I was also checking to make sure there wasn't some sort of a threat at the Capitol as well, and this led me down this road here. Now, again, to reiterate to our audience, this is what we have at this point. This is very preliminary and fragmentary. So around 6 o'clock Eastern time this afternoon, you had a gunman who came up near what is known at the Capitol as Gate 17. This is the outer perimeter around the White House. It's a rainy day in Washington. I was downtown today. Not as many people in downtown Washington as you would typically have on a Memorial Day weekend simply because of all the weather. Very, very chilly for this time of year here. He came up on the west side of the Capitol, and he brandished a pistol and started to fire in the direction of the White House. And he got off at least 3 shots, we're told. And the United States Secret Service returned fire, took him down, and there was a civilian somewhere on the street who was struck by this gunfire. We don't know by whose gunfire right now. But again, to emphasize here, he never got in the general perimeter inside the White House. And when you're looking at the orientation here, you can see, and there's this ambulance in the video going by here. The Eisenhower Executive Office building is just up the street from that. So this happened kind of down, I would estimate, from the southwest corner of where that was at this stage.
Hey, Chad, it's Alicia Acuna here.
So that was the latest update I got, but I heard that the gunman passed away. So, like I say, what do they expect to happen? They come shooting towards the White House. They're just going to open up the gate and say, come on in. Not happening. Yeah, I hope so too, Susan. And Tracy, yeah, Trump is trying to do a lot of good if they would just leave him alone. Oh, mercy me. They just, I ain't going to say. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. I'm a little angel here tonight, so I'm going to be good. Chris, don't push me. I'm going to try to be good. Okay. And then, but I do have this. President Trump, please make mental institutions great again. Come on, you got this. You can do that. So we can lock up all the loonies and get them some help. Okay, and then we got an update on what Trump's been doing in the White House, his negotiating. But I just don't trust them over there. I just do not trust them. I think they're just playing around and trying to buy as much time as they can. That's my opinion. Everybody's got one. I just don't trust them. I don't trust a word them people says. So here's a little update on that.
President Trump just shared an update on those talks with Iran and a potential deal. We go straight now back to Alex Hogan. She is at the White House with this latest update for us. Alex.
Hi, Molly. So this is what we were talking about earlier, waiting to see if we would get some kind of readout from the White House about those conversations. Is exactly what we saw just a couple minutes ago. The president posting on Truth Social that he had what he's calling a positive call with leaders. This is concerning, of course, Iran and all things related to a memorandum of understanding pertaining to peace. The president writing on Truth Social, an agreement has been largely negotiated subject to finalization between the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran. The president also went on to say that he spoke with the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, which then quote saying, likewise, that went very well. Final aspects of the details of the deal are currently being discussed and will be announced shortly. So to kind of break down who was in this call, we're told that this was a call between the president as well as the leaders of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Jordan, and Bahrain. So the main gist of this right here, the president writing, in addition to the many aspects, if we can bring that back up, the many aspects of the element, the Strait of Hormuz will be reopened.
True,
and then again, saying thank you for your attention to that matter. So that's been the main gist of what these calls are reportedly breaking down. The Strait of Hormuz needs to be reopened. We have, of course, heard the president reaffirm time and time again that in order for any kind of deal, there would need to be some kind of agreement that would involve the enriched uranium, turning that over, and a guarantee that Iran would not be able to have any nuclear capabilities. We did hear earlier today on Iranian state TV, the Iranians saying that that's not part of this deal, so we'll wait to hear more from the administration.
They're playing games.
If there is anything more that we should be following as it pertains to that. We did see a Marine sentry posted outside of the West Wing, and that indicates that the president is typically working, or at least in the building in the Oval Office. And again, just moments ago, the president confirming that with this new breaking news. Molly.
Alex, you too standing at the ready. Thank you so much for bringing that. Multiple big headlines there, breaking news. I think you answered my follow-up question as to if we had the details about the uranium enrichment and also how the material would be handled, which, as you mentioned, were the 2 points that Marco Rubio had flagged and the president has been consistent on, and that we're still waiting for the details, but the president promising more details to come. Alex Hogan, really fascinating report. We greatly appreciate it. Your reporting there about this largely negotiated agreement. We wait for further details. Alex Hogan, thank you.
I just don't trust them. Yeah, them are rats too. Demon rats. They're everything. And then we got California. Newsom. I don't know what his problem is. He's going to end up blowing up California, it looks like. Here's something that's going on in California. Let me see. There was the fires. There was no water. And now this is happening. Darlene, get ready. We're going in hot after tea.
Officials in Southern California are racing to solve a toxic chemical crisis that could cause an unprecedented industrial disaster. 40,000 people have been ordered to evacuate an area not far from Disneyland. Max Gordon has the latest live from our Los Angeles newsroom on this. Max, good afternoon.
Hey, Molly. Well, just in the past few minutes, California Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency for Orange County. Tens of thousands of people evacuated in case this tank blows up. This chemical tank emergency is happening at GKN Aerospace in Garden Grove, California, a facility that builds airplane parts. The large storage tank contains methyl methacrylate, a volatile inflammable plastic epoxy. The tank is holding about 7,000 gallons of the chemical and is overheating, and fire officials say that it's in danger of leaking or exploding. Firefighters have been trying to lower the temperature of the tank by pouring water on it, and they've constructed also containment barriers around the site. A faulty valve on the tank has kept emergency responders from being able to offload the chemical or introduce a stabilizer. Experts from around the state and country have been consulted, but lowering the temperature and avoiding a tank breach is proving to be tricky. In at last update, the temperature inside appears to be rising. Fire officials say that they've been trying to think creatively on how to keep the tank from exploding.
Letting this thing just fail and blow up is unacceptable to us.
She's not no lady.
Our goal is to find something and not allow that happen, not to let it damage our community, not let it damage our environment. That's unacceptable.
Two other nearby tanks filled with chemicals are also being dealt with to lessen the chances of a chain reaction if there is an explosion. One adjacent tank is being offloaded and neutralizing chemicals are going into the other. Meanwhile, officials are monitoring air quality. Currently, there are no gases or toxic plumes. No injuries have been reported either.
Darlene.
Evacuation zones currently form a 1-mile buffer around the facility.
Getting me
Breathing in
going.
fumes from
I'm
the
trying to
chemical
be
is
good.
very toxic, and medical experts say it can irritate the lungs, cause dizziness, and cause nausea. So far, it's still unclear when people are going to be able to return home. Molly, back to you.
Well, very nerve-wracking situation for that nearby community. Max Gordon, thank you. Certainly something worth watching.
Yeah, old Newscomb there. They just need to get him out. They need to vote him out and tell him to leave, or fence him in somewhere and let him just play right there on the edge of it near the water. Do something with him, because he's destroying California. Him and Bass, all them good representatives they got. I mean, no state's perfect, don't get me wrong. I mean, my state's bad too, certain parts of it. But he's just totally destroying California. He don't know how to fix things or handle things or look out for things that could happen and think ahead to stop it from happening. He's just a mess. Okay. And then I found this one, and then we'll get to some funny ones. This was to me, this is crossing the line. You don't mess with anybody's children, and I don't care if they are the president's child and she is older. It doesn't matter. You cross the line when you mess with somebody's child. So here we go with this one.
Welcome back to Fox and Friends. We're going to lead with a Fox News alert. A suspected terrorist with ties to Iran allegedly targeted Ivanka Trump for assassination. Sources telling the New York Post that the man behind the plot is the IRGC-trained Iraqi national taken into custody just last week.
The plot against Ivanka reportedly responds to President Trump killing Iranian military chief Qasem Soleimani. A source telling the Post that the suspect, quote, went around telling people we need to kill Ivanka to burn down the house of Trump the way he burned down our house.
Here with reaction is the national correspondent for the Daily Signal, Tony Kinnett. So great to have you out here in Indianapolis, Tony. So this is a really wild story involving this Iraqi national who was arrested last week in Turkey.
Well, this is an individual who's actually been complicit in either the planning or the execution of a number of terror attacks on Jews and Americans around the world, both in New York as well as Amsterdam. He's also suspected of being involved in a couple of attacks in Belgium.
Good to see you.
This is an individual we've been looking for a while. He was just arrested in Turkey on May 15th.
And so we're learning, Tony, more a little bit of what this IRGC terror suspect said. He said this as well. I say to the Americans, look at this picture and know that neither your palaces nor the Secret Service will protect you. We are currently in the stage of surveillance and analysis. I told you our revenge is a matter of time. So, Tony, are we at risk of more plots?
I think this is a great case in point of the number of attacks that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, that Islamic fundamentalist group, is willing to go to consistently on the calendar with attacks against Americans, with threats against Americans, both in leadership and general civilian population, with their attacks on churches and synagogues. There is a consistent threat from the Iranians that goes all the way back past Qasem Soleimani, as you alluded to earlier. And I think these threats are going to continue as long as the IRGC is in any way fungible as an organization.
All right,
All right, Tony, I want to move to this because
that is wrong. But we have morals. They don't. That's the difference between us and them. And we believe in God. And many other things. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Okay, that's all of the news that I have. So I'm going to show a couple of little funny things, because we'll finish the trivia on limitations after this, and if we get done, we will watch Ezekiel. But if we don't, then Ezekiel will be tomorrow's. Okay, let me see. Scotty here. He'll make us laugh. Let me see. This is left lane. I know what the left lane's for. Do y'all know what the left lane's used for? Darlene, you know what the left lane is for? Hey, Mel, good to see ya. Love ya. Hope you're doing well. So, here we go. We're going to find out what the left lane's for. I know.
Don't play about that left lane. If you get in that lane, you better mean it. See, in the South, the left lane ain't for looking around. It ain't for cruising. It's for folks who got places to be. Like church, court, or somewhere that stops selling breakfast at 10 a.m. Now, if you do 55 in the left lane, you just became public enemy number 1. Somebody behind you is building up a slow southern rage. They ain't honking yet, but they're saying stuff like, what in the Sam hell is he doing? And don't let them flash them headlights at you. That's the southern version of saying bless your heart through clenched teeth. There's always one truck with a lifted suspension and a flag out the back who's riding so close you can read the expiration date on his vape juice. And God forbid you move over and they pass you, they're going to look at you. Not long, just enough to say you know better. The right lane is for mind your business and the left lane is for handle your business. That's the law, not legally, but spiritually. You stay in the left lane down here for no reason. Somebody's meemaw just gave you a nickname she'll use for the rest of your life. And I promise it ain't nice. Do you drive like you got nowhere to be and all day to get there? Or do you got to go handle your business in that left lane?
I do too, Tracy. Left lane, here I come. Wait. Now if it's raining, I'll get on the other side, the slower side. But the left lane is wide open most of the time. Not too many people travel with. Let me see. And this one is for the sports people. So he may say some. Oh, no, never mind. We only got a minute. We'll watch it tomorrow. Oh, me. But Tracy and Darla, y'all know what he's talking about. Y'all know. Put your knees in the breeze. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, thank you, thank you all very much. And this is Memorial Day weekend, so keep all of our soldiers' memories in your heart, because there's families that's missing their loved ones. And then we got our soldiers that give the ultimate sacrifice.
My people that are
Hey Dee, good to see ya. Hope you're doing well. You and Goldie. Love y'all. Okay. And then we got the lives that was stolen from illegals. So, rest in peace. And thank you for your service, heroes.
Tell me, what does it look like in heaven? Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say? Does the sun shine bright forever? Have your fears and your pain gone away? Yeah, 'cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you'll dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing and the angels quiet, and I hope the angels know what they have. I'll bet it's so nice up in heaven since you've arrived. So tell me, what do you do up in heaven? Are your days filled with love and light? Is there music? Is there art and invention? Tell me, are you happy? Are you more alive? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. there's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know what they have. I'll bet it's so nice up in heaven since you've arrived. I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angels' choir, and I hope the angels know what they have. I'll bet it's so nice up in heaven since you've arrived. Since you've arrived.
We have to keep trusting in God. Trust and believe. Mail. I'm going to try this. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm going to try this mail because I still feel bad about the other night. You wondering where we was at. I'm going to put a link in chat for a band, and that way you can contact us if you need us or find us. So I'm going to try this. I'm not too bright on this link throwing out there. And anyone else, D, or I think Susan and Jay Keeps is already on there. SL20, any one of y'all, if y'all want to join, then y'all can keep up with who's coming on. And if you have a prayer request for Gator Girl, or just to keep up with each other. Well, you can use your phone. I've got it on my phone, Melanie. I think that's it. I think. Click on it and see what it does. Y'all know me. I love y'all. I think that's it. And BitBuy or me will accept it. If we'll accept it whenever no one can see but who we invite in, or who gets accepted, because we don't want trolls in there. So y'all be safe to put whatever y'all want to in there. So now I got that out of the way, because it bothers me that Mel was concerned and couldn't find us, because we're a big family and I love each and every one of you. Welcome back, Christopher. Hold on. Let me, I'm going to play this little baby Trump video for a second, and I'll be getting the trivia.
Buenas noches, Cuba. That's right, it's me, your favorite president, or as you guys say it, Presidente Trumpo. Beautiful name. Sounds very powerful in Spanish. Like a telenovela villain, but with better real estate. Actually, you know what? I like you guys already. You can call me El Trumpo. Very casual, very cool. That's a privilege, by the way. I don't let everybody do that. I let like 3 countries use nicknames, and 2 of them lost the privilege. You know who you are? Now, I just got off the phone with Actually, I didn't call anybody in Cuba because nobody in Cuba has a working phone. Very sad situation. The whole thing's a disaster. No oil, no power, no Wi-Fi. 11 million people just sitting in the dark. That's not a country. That's a haunted house with palm trees. You're living in an escape room, except nobody can escape because the boats don't work either. And I said to my people, what's going on with Cuba? They said, sir, they've been communists for like 60 years. 60 years. That's longer than all three of my marriages combined. And at least my marriages produced results. Beautiful children, tremendous genes. Meanwhile, Cuba's been married to communism for 6 decades, and all they got was a 57 Chevy that runs on prayer and a ration book that says good luck on every page. They call it a revolution, but I call it a going out of business sale that's lasted since 1959. Nobody's buying what they're selling, literally, because there's nothing on the shelves. You walk into a store in Havana, you know what they have? 2 cans of something. Nobody knows what's in the cans. Could be beans, could be some guava paste, could be another smaller can, quite frankly. I mean, it's like a nesting doll of disappointment. Now the leadership, the Castro guys. One's dead, the other one's basically dead. And whoever's in charge now, nobody even knows his name. I said to my people, get me the leader of Cuba on the line. And they said, sir, we Googled it, and even Google didn't know. Can you believe it? They know everything. They know what I had for breakfast, and they don't know who's running Cuba. When nobody even bothers to learn your name, that's not a government. That's a group project where one guy disappeared and everyone just kept going. And by the way, I have Marco Polo. No, I'm just kidding. But I have Marco Rubio, my Secretary of State. Cuban guy. I know Marco very well, actually. Great guy, very loyal, little short, but great guy. And I said, Marco, you're Cuban, right? He said, yes, sir, my parents. I said, perfect. You're leading the operation. This is your homecoming, Marco. Very emotional. Beautiful moment. He got a little teary-eyed, I think. Hard to tell. He's very stoic, very serious face. But inside, he's doing the salsa. I guarantee it. So we're going in, folks. We've got a Cuban in charge of the Cuba thing. That's called synergy. Very smart. Nobody thinks of this stuff but me, folks. Believe me. And don't even get me started on what they're drinking down there. They have this off-brand cola. I'm not going to say the name because it doesn't deserve the publicity, but apparently it tastes like somebody described Diet Coke to a guy who's never had Diet Coke. And that guy described it to another guy. And that guy made it in a bathtub. 3 generations removed from greatness. Unbelievable. It's the communism of beverages. So here's my plan, the best plan. Step 1, Marco goes in. Very quick. He speaks the language. He knows the vibe. Probably takes a lunch break. Actually, probably not. But step 2, Trump Tower, Havana. Gorgeous building, right on the water. Tallest thing on the island. You'll see it from Miami, probably. Step 3, we get them Wi-Fi so they can finally Google who's been running their country. Very important. And step 4, we rename it. I'm thinking South Florida too, or maybe Trumpa, like Tampa, but better. We're in negotiations, so we'll see. The good news is the Cuban people already love America. Half of them are already in Miami. They know how to order at Publix. They know how to complain about traffic on the Palmetto. They're ready. Now all we have to do is bring Miami to them. It's called reverse migration. Nobody's ever thought of it. I thought of it just now, actually. That's how fast my brain works. Bigger, better, stronger than ever before. And to the people of Cuba sitting in the dark right now, literally, El Trumpo is coming, Marco's coming, we're all coming, quite frankly. Biggest fiesta this hemisphere has ever seen. Mojitos, music, barbecue, and fireworks. Actually, Marco's going to do the salsa. He doesn't know that yet, but I already told the DJ. Okay, Dios bendiga a Cuba. God bless America, and God bless you.
I thought that was cute. I liked it. Marco there dancing, doing the dance. So, I liked it. I thought it was cute. Cute. Okay. I think I got it fixed. Has anyone tried that link? Is it working? Did it work for anyone? Because y'all know I'm special on this technology. I'm special. I'm not too bright. Oh, it did work. Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. Okay. Okay, here we go. Let me grab the trivia now since Mel, I hope you're able to get in too. Because again, I'm really sorry. I want all of our family be able to get a hold of us when they need us. Okay, here we go. We're going to finish Lamentations. Let me see. Share screen.
Fundamental nature is not punitive. Though he brings grief, he also shows compassion.
And I moved it back just a little bit to give me a little bit of time to make everything where y'all can see it. Alrighty. Okay. Here we go.
Lamentations chapter 3 verse 33. Question 11. In Lamentations chapter 2, what does the writer say God has swallowed up without pity? A. All the dwellings of Jacob. B. The surrounding nations. C. The armies of Babylon.
Okay. Let me see. Christopher coming in with a B. Party Bonza with a B. I think I'm going to go with A. I think A. Because it says all the dwellings of Jacob. All of them. Okay, we got Christopher with a B, Party Bonza with a B, Tracy with an A, and Darlene with a B. And then on Rumble, we have SL20 with an A, Susan with an A, and Jay Keeps with an A. And the answer is, if everybody's ready, the answer is, Mel, are you going to guess? Or are you just watching and learning? Well, we're all learning. Okay, the answer is...
You've got this. A. All the dwellings of Jacob is correct. The explanation. This graphic language describes the totality of the destruction God brought upon his own people as judgment. Lamentations chapter 2 verse 2. Question 12. What horrific act did the people resort to during the siege of Jerusalem? A. Surrendering to the enemy. B. Sacrificing their firstborn. C. Women eating their own children.
Oh Lord, this is the book.
The valid answer is
Oh man, I forgot.
Stop.
I was thinking of. I'm sorry, y'all. I guess we know what it is. I'll pay attention next time. Just that answer just bothers me. And the second one bothers me. We got Melanie with a B, Christopher with a B, Tracy with a C, and Darlene with a C.
Yeah, everybody over here with a C.
Yeah, it's so nasty. It's not right.
C. Women eating their own children. The explanation. The famine during the siege was so severe that compassionate women have cooked their own children. Lamentations chapter 4 verse 10. Question 13. How is the gold of the temple described in Lamentations chapter 4? Possible answers. A. As being safely hidden away. B. As being carried off to Babylon. C. As having become dim and tarnished.
Let me see. And on the last one, D came in with a C, and Party Bonza come in with a C. And on this one, Party Bonza says C. And I'm going to go with C also. Tracy with a C. Christopher with a C. D with a C. And Darlene with a C.
SL with a C, Susan with a C, Jay Keeps with a B, and I'm with C, learning mode. Because I'm pretty sure I know where Jay Keeps is coming. I believe it was carried off, but again, in Lamentations 4, specifically, I don't know. So I'll learn.
Party Bonza says, which is odd because gold does not tarnish. Must have been fake gold.
It could become dim. Yeah, that word tarnished might be incorrect.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, yeah, I got a next. I don't know. Here we go.
All right. But
I'm rambling.
Yeah.
That other question still got me all confused.
Yeah, well, don't
Where's
do
my
that.
D's? Okay, I got you, D.
Brilliant. Option C, as having become dim and tarnished, is spot on. The explanation. The dimming of the pure gold is a metaphor for how the precious people of Zion have lost their glory.
Metaphor.
Lamentations chapter 4 verse 1. Question 14. In Lamentations chapter 1, how are Jerusalem's former friends described? A. They have all become her enemies. B. They have come to comfort her. C. They have remained neutral.
Going with Party Bonza on this one. They're enemies. They try to take them down. So Party Bonza's coming in hot with an A. Christopher with an A. Darlene with an A. Tracy with an A. And D with an A. Is that better, D?
SL with an A, Susan with an A, Jay Keeps with an A, and I also selected A.
Okay, the answer is...
You're on track. A. They have all become her enemies is correct. The explanation. The lament describes the pain of betrayal. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They have become her enemies. Lamentations chapter 1 verse 2.
Melanie, Bitbot said last night, if you click on the live, I think he was helping somebody on Rumble. If you click on the live, then it should catch you up. Okay, here I go.
The other thing too is if you leave the YouTube page that you're on, depending on the browser you're using, it will slow it up and you'll come back and you will be behind. So you'd have to refresh the page on YouTube.
Got that, Mel? Okay, here we go. I hope that helped you. Hopefully.
Question 15. What does the writer say has happened to the precious sons of Zion in Lamentations chapter 4? Think about these. A. They have been carried into exile. B. They are now considered as pots of clay. C. They were valiant in battle.
Let's see what they say. I'm going with B, I think, because they talked about the clay. So I'm going to go with B, but I could be wrong. And it looks like I may be wrong.
No, I see B's.
Well, we got Christopher with an A, Party Bonza with an A. Tracy coming in hot with a B. Darlene coming in with a B. A D with a B.
SL with a B. Susan with a B. I'm in learning mode B. And Jay Keeps is taking B.
And Teacup coming in hot with a B. So we will see. The B's or the A's.
Spot on. The correct option is B. They are now considered as pots of clay. The explanation. Lamentations chapter 4 verse 2 states that Zion's precious sons, once worth their weight in gold, are now considered as pots of clay, illustrating their degradation. Question 16. The final chapter of Lamentations describes the people as having become what? A. Orphans and fatherless. B. Stronger through suffering. C. A powerful new community.
I hope Sky ain't listening to this one. He'll be on that again. I'm going with the crowd here. Party Bonza with an A coming in hot. Christopher with an A. I'm taking A. And Tracy with an A. And Melanie with an A. And D. D with an A.
SL with an A. Susan with an A. Jay Keeps with an A. And I also selected A.
And Teacup with an A. And Darlene coming in hot with an A.
Right on target. The answer is A. Orphans and fatherless. The explanation. The final prayer describes their desolate state. We have become orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are like widows. Lamentations chapter 5 verse 3. Question 17. In Lamentations chapter 5, what has fallen from their head? Choose from A. Their wisdom. B. Their strength. C. Their crown.
I'm going with C. Because wisdom can't fall from your head. It's your brain. Your strength can't because it's your I'm going to go with crown because you can place a crown on your head and it can fall off. My logic.
There you go.
Party Bunza with a C. Tracy with a C. D with a C. Christopher with a C. And Darlene with a C. And Gator Girl. Shoot. She must be thinking about me. Teacup coming in hot with a C. Gator Girl, if you're watching, we love you. We miss you.
Susan with a C. Jay Keeps with a C. SL with a C. I'm with a C. Straight C's.
Alrighty. Mel, good night.
Outstanding. C. Their crown is right. The explanation. The crown has fallen from our head. Woe to us, for we have sinned. This symbolizes the loss of their honor and glory. Lamentations chapter 5 verse 16.
Oh, okay, Mel.
Question 18. In Lamentations chapter 5, the people's dancing has turned into what? A. Weeping. B. Mourning. C. Silence.
I'm thinking it was morning.
It's B.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Wasn't for sure, but I was thinking. Christopher with a B. Tracy coming in hot with a B. D with a B. Party Bunza with a B. Darlene with a B. And Teacup with a B.
SL with a B. Susan with a B. Jay Keeps with a B. I'm with a B.
You're crushing it. B. Mourning is right. The explanation.
See, family, we're crushing.
This line from the final prayer vividly contrasts their former joyous celebrations with their current state of sorrow. Lamentations chapter 5 verse 15. If you're enjoying the Bible quizzes, we'd love for you to join our Bible quiz community.
No,
Please like the video, subscribe, and become a part of our growing family of Bible enthusiasts. Question 19. What does the writer of Lamentations acknowledge about God's character even in judgment? Select 1. A. The Lord is righteous. B. The Lord is slow to anger. C. The Lord is a warrior.
We got Christopher coming in hot with an A. Party Bunza with an A. D with an A. Okay, ladies, listen. The men are beating us, putting our answers up first. We got D. We got D with an A. We got Darlene with an A. Teacup with an A. And Tracy with an A coming in hot.
Jay Keeps with an A. Susan with an A. Estelle with an A. And I also am taking A. A.
A's. Oh, Teddy wants to play. Oh. Here we go. A's across the board.
You're doing great. A. The Lord is righteous is correct. The explanation. Even while lamenting, the author affirms God's justice. The Lord is righteous, yet I rebelled against his command. Lamentations chapter 1 verse 18. Question 20. What did the false prophets see for Jerusalem according to the writer? A. A future and a hope. B. Imminent destruction. C. False and misleading visions.
I remember this one. I'm going to pick C.
Well, I'm going to take C just because you're that confident.
Yeah, I remember this one. C, 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 C. Okay, we got Tracy coming in hot with a C. Darlene with a C. Party Bunza with a C. Teacup with a C. Christopher with a C. And D said he would be back. So.
All right. I picked C. SL20 with C. Susan with C. And Jay Keeps, I'm not sure which one you want to go with. A or C? Future and hope. Well, that's true. But specifically, let me see that. Oh. Yeah, I'm sticking with, okay, I don't know which one you want. We'll give you, go ahead. A was one of the C. I don't, oh, a future of hope was a misleading vision. Okay, I get it. So basically C, but go ahead, play it.
Okay. Here we go. Themes across the board.
Keep it up. The right answer is C. False and misleading visions.
Well, we will keep
The explanation. The author blames the false prophets for not exposing the people's sin and instead giving them deceptive visions of peace. Lamentations chapter 2 verse 14. Question 21. What does the final prayer in Lamentations chapter 5 ask the Lord to do? A. Destroy our enemies. B. Restore us to yourself, renew our days as of old. C. Give us a new king.
Ooh, look at Tracy. Tracy is coming in hot with a B. Christopher with a B. Teacup with a B. Darlene with a B. Party Bunza with a B. And I'm taking B.
SL with a B, Jay Keeps with a B, Susan with a B, and I also am taking B.
Okay, the answer is...
The correct answer is B. Restore us to yourself, renew our days as of old. The explanation. The final plea is not for material things, but for a restored relationship with God. Lamentations chapter 5 verse 21. Question 22. How does the book of Lamentations end? Choose from A. With a promise of immediate restoration. B. With a song of praise for God's faithfulness. C. With a raw, unanswered question to God.
Going with C. Because it ended with an unanswered question. Tracy coming in hot with a C. Christopher with a C. Teacup with a C. Darlene with a C. Party Bonza with a C.
SL with a C. Susan with a C. I'm picking C.
Alrighty. The answer is
C. With a raw, unanswered question to God is the correct answer. The explanation. The book ends with the unresolved plea, unless you have utterly rejected us and are angry with us beyond measure. Lamentations chapter 5 verse 22. Question 23. How many chapters does the book of Lamentations have? A3. B5. C7.
ooh, looky here.
I think Jay
Christopher
Keeps was
with
a little
a
behind. She got C
B.
on the last one.
Oh, okay.
I only know this because of the review.
We got Christopher with a B. We got Tracy with a B. Darlene with a B. Party Bonza with a B. And T coming in hot with a B.
SL with the 5B. Susan with the B. I had a B. And again, I think Jay Keeps is behind.
Do we wait on her or?
Just gonna give her a second here. I don't know if you need to refresh, Jay Keeps. I gotta see that. Go back. There we go. Go ahead. I'll read it if I see it. Oh, Jay Keeps with B.
Okay. Here we go. With the
Well done. The answer is B5. The explanation. The Book of Lamentations contains 5 chapters, each one a distinct sorrowful poem about the fall of Jerusalem. If you're enjoying the Bible quizzes, we'd love for you to join our Bible quiz community. Please like the video, subscribe, and become a part of our growing family of Bible enthusiasts. Question 24. According to Lamentations chapter 2, what has the Lord become like to his people? A. An enemy. B. A consuming fire. C. A distant king.
Yeah, I don't know this one.
I never understood this one, but it's A, but I didn't ever get it when I was listening to it.
Yeah, SL took
I'm like,
A as well.
Why would the Lord be an enemy for? It still hasn't clicked with me. Why?
Because he allowed them to fall into their own despair, their sin.
Yeah, but they caused it themselves.
Right.
So why would the Lord?
And I'm sure you've had people that or know people that blame you for things that aren't your fault. They made their own decision.
Well, true. Okay, we got Tracy coming in hot with an A. Party Bonza with an A. Darlene with an A.
I'll do mine quick. SL with an A, Susan with an A, keeps A, and I took A.
Right. Christopher with an A. And the answer is...
Superb. The answer is A, an enemy. The explanation. In a shocking statement, the writer describes God's judgment by saying, "The Lord is like an enemy. He has swallowed up Israel." Lamentations chapter 2 verse 5. Question
I
25.
don't like that.
What is the great turning point in the book's central chapter? The choices are A. A call to arms against Babylon. B. A shift from personal grief to corporate hope. C. A decision to rebuild the city walls.
Hmm. Is everyone quiet or is it? Oh, okay.
No, I've
Thinking my
seen
headphones
if
went.
anybody. No, I've seen what if anybody was saying anything. I'm picking B. Because it talks about grief to hope. I mean, that corporate hope I don't get, but I do remember the grief and the hope in the study guide and the movie. It being said in it. Okay, we got
I would go with B, I
Christopher.
think, more than C. So yeah, I think B.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We got Christopher coming in with a C. With a C. T with Tracy with a B coming in hot. Darlene with a B. And Party Bunza coming in hot with a B.
KSL with a B. Susan with a B. I took B. I mean, A and C are pretty general. B is kind of like there's a shift, right? Things are changing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Jay keeps with A. All right.
Alrighty, here we go.
Excellent. The answer is B, a shift from personal grief to corporate hope. The explanation. In Lamentations chapter 3, the writer's personal despair turns to hope as he remembers God's unfailing love and mercies. Lamentations chapter 3 verses 21 to 22. Thank you for joining today's Bible quiz.
You're welcome. Do you want to y'all want me to play the study guide for Ezekiel for tomorrow? And then, because it's kind of long, it's like 2 of the study guides together equals this one, like the other one.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And then I'll play it again before we start tomorrow's.
Oh, 2 reviews, perfect. Yeah, I could use that.
Get double clutch. That's what we call it down here. You double clutching. Alrighty. Let me stop this one. Ooh, that's the next one. Okay. Here we go with Ezekiel. Oh, Christopher. You know what you can do with that, don't you? Here we go. I'm ignoring Christopher.
The prophet Ezekiel. Ezekiel was a priest who had been living in Jerusalem during the first Babylonian attack on the city. And they spared the city, but they took a first wave of Israelite prisoners and hauled them off into exile, and Ezekiel was among them. So the book begins 5 years after all that, and Ezekiel is sitting on the bank of an irrigation canal near his Israelite refugee camp, and it's his 30th birthday, no less, the year that he would have been installed as a priest in Jerusalem. And then all of a sudden, Ezekiel has this vision. He sees a storm cloud approaching, and then inside the cloud are 4 strange creatures that have wings outstretched and touching each other. And these creatures each had 4 faces. And then he saw 4 wheels, one by each creature. And then he saw that the wings of the creatures were supporting this dazzling platform. And then on that platform is a throne. And then sitting on that throne is this human-like creature, glowing and shrouded in fire. And then all of a sudden, Ezekiel realizes what he's seeing. He calls it the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. It's God riding his royal throne chariot. Now, the word glory, in Hebrew, it's kavod. It means heavy or significant. The biblical authors use this word to describe the physical appearance and manifestation of God's significance when he shows up in person. These images in the vision, they're very similar to what happened when God appeared on Mount Sinai in the book of Exodus. And it's also very similar to the depictions of God's presence over the Ark of the Covenant. And that's actually the most shocking thing about Ezekiel's vision. What is God's glory doing in Babylon? It's supposed to be above the Ark of the Covenant, in the temple in Jerusalem. And so the first section of the book opens to explore that question as Ezekiel begins to accuse Israel of rebellion. So God first speaks to Ezekiel from the throne chariot, and he commissions him as a prophet. Ezekiel is to accuse Israel of breaking their covenant agreement with God in a couple ways. Israel has given their allegiance to other gods and has been worshiping idols, and this has all led to rampant social injustice and violence. And so as a result, God appoints Ezekiel to warn the people. The first Babylonian attack that took Ezekiel into exile is going to be matched by another, and Jerusalem, its temple, all face imminent destruction. So Ezekiel uses words and more to get his message across. He also performs sign acts. These were a form of street theater. Ezekiel would go out in public and start behaving in these really bizarre ways that were like parables of his prophetic message. So he was supposed to build a tiny model of Jerusalem and then stage an attack on it. Or he was to shave off all of his hair and then chop it up with a sword. Or the most extreme, he was to play the role of the scapegoat on the Day of Atonement. And he would lay on his side for over a year, eating food cooked over poop, as a sign of the nasty food that people will have to eat during the siege of Jerusalem. And perhaps the most disheartening thing of all is the bad news God gave Ezekiel that no one was going to listen to him. Israel would reject him because of their rebellious and hard heart. And this recalls Moses' description of the people after the wilderness rebellions, when he predicted that exile would one day happen, and Ezekiel had the unfortunate privilege of seeing it all come to pass. And so a dismayed Ezekiel, he begins to perform his task. And after about a year, he has another vision. This one is about the temple. He goes on this virtual tour of the temple, and he sees what's happening there in his absence, and it is not good. In the outer courtyard in front of the temple, he sees this large idol statue. And then he sees the elders of Israel worshiping other gods, both outside and inside the temple. And then he sees the women of Israel. They're worshiping a Babylonian god named Tammuz. And the vision ends with God's glorious throne chariot moving up and away from the temple. It's leaving, going east, headed towards Babylon. And so in chapter 11, we come to see why and how God's glory appeared to Ezekiel there in Babylon. Israel's idolatry and their covenant violations, it's become so blatant and offensive that God has left his temple. They've driven him away, and he consigns it to destruction. But God hasn't abandoned his people. Rather, he goes into exile with them. And so at the end of this vision in chapter 11, God promises that he will return a remnant of Israel back to the land, and he'll transform them by removing their heart of stone and giving them a new, soft heart of flesh, so that they can love and truly follow their God after all. This is a small glimmer of hope, and it's quickly submerged under the reality of the imminent destruction. But chapter 11, it's a key transition, and it helps us understand understand how the rest of the book has been designed. So the next 3 sections are all announcements of God's judgment, first on Israel, then on the nations around Israel, and then on Jerusalem itself. But then after that, the hopeful conclusion of chapter 11 gets developed in the final 3 sections of the book. First, hope for Israel, then for the nations, and then for all creation. Chapters 12 through 24 focus on God's judgment coming to Israel. And this is a diverse collection of poems and essays. And here Ezekiel shows his fondness for parable and allegory. So he depicts Israel as a burnt, useless stick, or as a rebellious wife, or as a dangerous, raging lion that gets captured, or as 2 promiscuous sisters. These are all depictions of Israel's senseless rebellion and idolatry that results in their ruin. In this section, Ezekiel also acts like a lawyer. He begins arguing the case that, first of all, Jerusalem's destruction is truly deserved after centuries of covenant violation, and that even if the most righteous people in the world, like Noah or Daniel or Job, were alive and praying for God to spare Israel, God would not accept their prayers. It's far too late. And so God's goodness actually demands that he bring justice on this generation of Israel. The exile has become inevitable. They've reached the point of no return. Following this, Ezekiel focuses first on the nations immediately around Israel, and then on the 2 most powerful states in the region, Egypt and then Tyre. Israel has allied with these nations and adopted their gods and their idols, and so God accuses the kings of Tyre and Egypt for arrogantly viewing themselves as gods who get to define right and wrong on their own terms. And God holds these kings accountable for their pride, and he announces that he will use Babylon to bring them down. They will face God's justice along with everybody else. Following these really intense sections is a short story in chapter 33. Ezekiel's met by a refugee who's just arrived from Jerusalem, and he gives him the report that Babylon has attacked the city of Jerusalem, that the city has fallen, and the temple is destroyed. Ezekiel's grim warnings have become a reality. But remember, the end of chapter 11, that's not the end of the story. And so in the next video, we'll explore Ezekiel's profound vision of hope. But for now, that's the first half of the book of Ezekiel. The book of the prophet Ezekiel. In the first video, we were introduced to Ezekiel the priest, and he's sitting among the exiles in Babylon. And he's confronted by the awesome glory of God's temple presence, but it's appearing to him in Babylon. And then Ezekiel discovers why. It's because of Israel's idolatry and injustice that has compelled God to abandon his own temple. And while there is still hope for the future, the book went on to develop Ezekiel's message of divine judgment, first for Israel and then for the nations around Israel. And then a key moment happened in chapter 33. Ezekiel receives a report that the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem is over because the city has fallen. The temple is destroyed. Ezekiel's grim words of warning came true. The exile was the most horrendous catastrophe that ever happened to Israel, and it raised the big questions of whether God was done with Israel for good. But remember, at the end of chapter 11, God promised that there was still a future beyond exile for Israel. And so the rest of the book is designed to explore Ezekiel's vision of hope, first for Israel, then for the nations, and then for all of creation. The hope for Israel begins with God promising to raise up a new David, a future messianic king, who's going to be the kind of leader that Israel needed but never got. And this new Israel, who's going to come under the messianic king's rule, is going to be a transformed people. God's going to deal with the heart of their problem of rebellion by giving them new hearts. It's just like Moses promised at the end of the book of Deuteronomy. God says he's going to remove their hard hearts and send his spirit into his people to give them new, soft hearts that can love and obey their God. And this idea gets developed in the next strange vision. Ezekiel sees a huge valley filled up with dry human bones and skeletons, and God tells him that it's an image, a metaphor for Israel's spiritual state. So their rebellion against God, it resulted in exile and the literal death of many people, but it was also a metaphorical death of their covenant relationship. And God tells Ezekiel that his spirit is coming to bring his people back to life. And so this wind comes, and it causes all of the bones to stand up, and it fills them with breath and life, and then skin grows over the bones, and then all of a sudden Ezekiel sees all of these new humans standing in front of him. Now, this vision, it's recalling the story about the creation of humans in Genesis chapter 2, where God made humans out of dirt and divine breath. And so Israel and all humanity have rebelled, resulting in death. And so the only hope is that God would perform a new act of creation and remake humans in such a way that they can truly live in a relationship of love with God and with each other. And so after God is going to deal with the evil that's in the hearts of his own people, some questions still remain unresolved. Like, what about the evil that's still rampant out there among the nations? And what about the future of God's dwelling place in the temple? And this is what the final 2 sections of the book are about. So first come chapters 38 and 39, and they promise God's final defeat of evil among the nations, which gets personified by a ruler who's named Gog from the land of Magog. Now, this name is derived from a genealogy of ancient kingdoms and lands from Genesis chapter 10, and it referred to powerful nations from the distant past. And so Ezekiel picks up this ancient biblical name as an image of any and all violent kingdoms. And so we find that Gog gets allied with 7 nations that come from all 4 directions of the compass, is clearly an image that represents all of the nations. And this also helps us understand why Ezekiel describes Gog with images that he used earlier in the book to describe the king of Tyre and the king of Egypt, Pharaoh. For Ezekiel, Gog is an amalgam of all of the worst, most violent people in the Bible. Gog is the archetype of human rebellion against God. The basic story in these chapters is that Gog resists God's plan to restore his people. And so just like Pharaoh in the Exodus story, Gog comes to destroy the people. But God unleashes his justice on Gog, and it's in a flurry of scenes that don't actually make very good literal sense if you read them in sequence. Because first, Gog and his armies are consumed by an earthquake, but then they're consumed by fire 2 different times, and then after that, God comes and strikes Gog and his army down in the fields where they lay unburied for months. It's clear that these scenes are full of symbol and imagery. Ezekiel has pulled out his entire poetic tool set here to describe how God is determined to finally defeat human evil that has ruined his world. And it's so that he can pave the way for a new creation. And so once evil is finally dealt with among the nations, the last section of the book describes how God's presence is going to one day return to his people and his temple to bring cosmic restoration. So Ezekiel first gets this long, elaborate vision of a new temple and a new city. He's given this heavenly tour guide who shows him around the new temple complex, and it's much larger and more majestic than even Solomon's temple. There's a new altar, new priests, a whole new system of worship. And then after this elaborate tour, God's glorious throne chariot that he saw back in his first vision comes back, and it enters the new temple. Now, the meaning of these temple visions has been the source of debate for a long, long time. So some Christian and Jewish readers believe that this vision will be fulfilled literally one day, and that these chapters offer the actual blueprints of the new temple that will be built when the Messiah returns and brings God's kingdom. But many other Jewish and Christian readers think that this vision, like all of Ezekiel's other visions, is full of symbols, and they depict the reality of God's presence returning to his people in the Messianic kingdom, but not necessarily in the form of an actual building. Whichever view you take, it's important that Ezekiel never calls the city Jerusalem, and chapters 47 and 48 show why. Ezekiel sees this tiny stream pouring out of the temple threshold and steps, and then it quickly becomes this raging river, and then it flows out of the temple and the city into the desert, into one of the most desolate places on planet Earth, the Dead Sea Valley. And then that river, it leaves behind it a trail of trees and life, and then the Dead Sea gets transformed into a living sea that's teeming with plants and animals. All of this imagery comes from the Garden of Eden in Genesis chapters 1 and 2. And we see just how cosmic Ezekiel's vision really is. God's plan has always been to restore all humanity and all creation back to his life-giving presence. And so the book ends with the name of this garden city. The Lord is there. And so Ezekiel's visions come to a close, full of hope for a new future, new humans living in a new world that's animated by God's life-giving spirit. It's a world permeated with God's love and justice. And that's what the book of Ezekiel is all about.
And that's what it's all about. Now y'all have to read it.
How many chapters is it? You should look. Did it just tell us in the review?
Yeah, I believe it was 48.
Oh my goodness. I'll listen to it.
I believe they said 48. It's either 48 or 58. I know there's something 8, but I'm pretty sure it was 48. But it's going to be interesting when Gator Girl shows the movie. 48, SL said.
All right, so hold it. When is she going to? Oh, she'll show the movie Monday, even though we're going to start it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know, that's what she said when I talked to her on the phone today.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Because after Ezekiel, we got Daniel. So, y'all read up or listen up. I'll listen to the Bible where I can have my hands free to do what I need to do, and it sinks in this thick skull of mine. Some people listens and some people reads. Tracy says 48 too. So, and Christopher, boy, keep it up. You listen too, Darlene? I do, because I get my layers twisted. Okay, good night, Tracy. Love you. Sweet dreams. I'll tell Sky.
All right, I will get off so you can say goodnight.
All right. Well, I love you. Thank you for being here. And same
you're
time,
welcome.
same place tomorrow.
Okay. Love you.
Okay.
Good night.
Love you. Good night. All right, family. Please keep our chat family and our list that I said earlier in your prayers. I believe I went over the list, but keep everyone in your prayers. And remember, if God places someone on your heart or on your mind, listen, stop and pray. Just make sure you're in a safe place when you do it. But God knows the reason, and He's the only one who could step in the situation. And if you would, please keep Gator Girl in your prayers, because I know she has to be stressed and very wore out. So keep her in your prayers, and all of our chat, Tracy, Darlene, Susan, SL20, Kat, everyone, keep all of our family in your prayers. And I will see y'all tomorrow night. We'll go over the study guide again, and then we'll start the quiz. So I love each and every one of y'all, and I will see y'all. Be safe.
Every step I take, every stride I make, I look around, sometimes I feel alone. Think about this life I live, only so much time to give. I'm on the run into the unknown. The line I'm walking just straight, one outside to say it ain't fun. I'm not here to impress anyone. Chasing dreams ain't always what it seems. We only get one life, sometimes it's hard to see. Making a difference might be my deliverance. When it comes to freedom, yeah, that's where I find it. The hard path in life can be a lonely one. Not too many walk this road I'm on. since I left town. Sorry for the letdown. Don't know the next time that I'll be around. When I ask myself why I do what I do, there's a couple reasons, yeah, I can count a few. All the ones that are proud of me, all the ones that doubted me. Thanks for watching my dreams become reality. Chasing dreams ain't always what it seems. We only get one life, sometimes it's hard to see. Making a difference might be my deliverance. When it comes to freedom, yeah, that's where I find it. The hard path in life can be a lonely one. Not too many walk this road I'm on. This road I'm on. Chasing dreams ain't always what it seems. We only get one life, sometimes it's hard to see. Making a difference might be my deliverance. When it comes to freedom, yeah, that's where I find